I'm with Damien Dinning, the lead program manager for imaging at Nokia, and we're here to talk about the new 808 PureView phone from Nokia with the 41 megapixel sensor. So these are the phones, Damien, so if you could just talk us through, first of all, the 41 megapixel. How did you arrive at that? Well, what was the thinking behind that?
Sure. Where we started this project about 5 years ago was wanting to be able to do high quality zoom in a pocketable device. We'd looked at other optical zoom technologies, for example folded optics, linear optics, etc. And we just couldn't get the right balance between performance and pocketability. So we had to find a new way. And then we had this idea to use a high-resolution sensor and crop that and do the equivalent experience of optical zoom. The burden on the optics would be to match that resolution to be able to make the zoom work extremely effectively. In addition to that, we also needed to be able to create an image processing engine which would be able to handle those huge number of megapixels. For example, in video, there's over 1 billion pixels being handled by the image pipeline, which is about 16 times higher than many other high-end smartphones, as an example. It was fundamentally driven by the desire to offer a great zoom experience with high-quality images. But after a period of time, what we realized that once we fixed ourselves on this idea of producing a high-resolution sensor, when you're not using any zoom or you're only using partial zoom, you have an abundance of pixels which you can do something with. And that's really for us is, this project didn't start with us just trying to do some insane number of megapixels for the sake of some endless megapixel race. It was really from the desire of being able to do zoom, and the sensor route for us was the best way forward. So when you're not using the zoom, we oversample all of the pixels, and so you have roughly 7 to 8 pixels when you're in the default 5 megapixel setting, where all the data from those pixels is being used to retain the detail that's in the scene, as much of that as possible, whilst also effectively filtering out the information you don't want, the noise, for example. So in daylight you get incredibly detailed images which are extremely pure in the rendition of the image detail, but you also have virtually no noise. In fact, on a good summer's day, on a sort of reasonable lighting conditions, I wouldn't expect to see any noise at all when you're not using the zoom.